we're going to do another collective reading. So I have been asking Spirit to choose the topics by pulling some cards. And the topic came through this time as, have you missed your chance? So let's get into it. So we've got the mushroom deck. And this is a collective, timeless reading. So it applies to the time that you are accessing it, not the time that I recorded it. And I'm getting a strong sense that I need to shuffle again. I'm just going to go with that. I already pre-shuffled, but I was hearing that the cards were not in the right, like some of them need to be facing the other direction. So I'm just going to go with that and shuffle a couple more times. Although I did already pre-shuffle, but who am I to argue with Spirit? That was almost an inside joke with myself because I argue with Spirit all the time. But not for these readings. This is my exercise in faith. I argue with Spirit on my own behalf. I protest against my own outcomes in life. I'm working on surrender. I much prefer making things happen to surrendering to the way things are. And I've had other people tell me all my life that I need to surrender more, but I don't take advice from people. I take advice from Spirit though. I know Spirit's telling me to surrender a little bit more. Okay, feel like, no, I still need to cut again. Interesting. Does it need to be, yep, this one needs to go that way. Okay, all right. Okay, Spirit, the rest is up to you. Have you missed your chance? So maybe we'll get a couple cards to start off with who this person is to you. So who is this person? Just for a bit of an energy check-in. This is just going to be a short and sweet little reading, because I'm short on time. Got Nine of Cups and the Magician. Sort of felt like those wanted to go together. So this might be a person that you are feeling unfulfilled about, and a situation where there might be a feeling of, so I'm just looking at the Nine of Cups reverse meanings and struggling a little bit to map this together with the Magician, but so lack of fulfillment, unhappiness, greed, laziness, negative indulgence, underachievement, arrogance. So this can all be meanings for the Nine of Cups in reverse. Essentially a situation that is lacking in satisfaction. The Magician is about harnessing resources, bringing about a desired outcome. And so, I mean, essentially this is just, I'm not getting a who, I'm getting, there's a situation where you feel unfulfilled and you're looking at how to shift it. So, I mean, thanks, Spirit. Can we get a little more information about who this is? I don't know, maybe that's confirmation for you. Can we get a clarifier for the King of Cups in reverse? That's a little more person-y. King of Cups in reverse. Ten of Cups in reverse, okay. Okay, so the King of Cups in reverse is a person who is emotionally blocked. To put it in the kindest sense, it would be somebody who is potentially, they could be even manipulative, they could be gaslighting, they could be, all of the most terrible things that you can think of. But it could also be as simple as just heart chakra blockages. Someone who's just not able to access their heart space at this time, or who's blocked that off for themselves. And the Ten of Cups in reverse refers to sort of misalignment, disconnection, missing each other. And I mean, I think it might be clear why. So again, this could be this. So I was asking the question who this person is to you. So it looks like there's somebody who is emotionally unavailable, is either suppressing their emotions, or they just, are in their ego right now, or even so far as to be somebody who's intentionally misrepresenting the situation, causing you confusion. And I assume that if you're here with the topic of have you missed your chance, then this is somebody that you do want to connect with. But these cards are suggesting that this person could also be overwhelmed or anxious, or just, coming off quite cold. So we'll let the cards tell the tale. But the Ten of Cups suggests that this is deeply unsatisfying for you at this time. Lack of harmony, lack of fulfillment, tension, loneliness, frustration, conflicts, instability in family relationships. So if you're in a family relationship with this person, then, and by that I mean if you're partners or spouses, then it could be that things appear stable on the outside, but there's actually some heart blockages that are causing instability within the relationship. And so as to the question of have you missed your chance, I gather the question in that case for some of you might be that it's a question of possibly repair of the relationship. I had sort of intended the question as like, have you missed your chance with, a crush? But this is coming through more as a relationship of depth, but one that is not satisfying you at this present time. So I'm going to put these cards back, and we're going to look into, give this one more shuffle first. It's funny how I was getting such strong directions to shuffle. Shuffle more, shuffle differently. Actually, you know what? We'll save the oracle cards for the end, because maybe we'll turn to them for some advice. So let's get into the main reading here. Have you missed your chance? Have you missed your chance either to right things with the person that you're in relationship with, or possibly in pursuit of a new relationship with somebody? Have you missed your chance? We've got the Eight of Cups. We've got in reverse. We've got the Three of Swords in reverse. Got the Five of Swords in reverse. Or sorry, upright. Got the Five of Swords upright. I just got nervous. I got nervous when that Ten of Cups in reverse appeared. And suddenly, tarot sometimes feels like I come in with a sort of lighthearted energy, and I end up feeling like I have responsibility for people's lives sometimes. The Wheel of Fortune just came out. I'm not going to take them, but I want to show you. It came out with the Ace of Wands, the Two of Swords in reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles. So that's two aces and a decision to be made. But it came out positive, so I feel like it's doing the work of those other cards already. Can we get a clarifier for the Eight of Cups in reverse, please, Spirit? And as always, just take the messages that, oh, the Two of Swords came back out in reverse. Take the messages that resonate for you and leave what doesn't resonate. And as a collective reading, of course, everyone's circumstances are different. So that one, no. Three of Swords in reverse. Clarifier for the Three of Swords in reverse, please. Spirit. I love that the mushroom for that is a false moral. And I just love the name False Moral. I feel like I need to write a book called False Moral. I'd have a lot to say on that subject. Clarifier for the Three of Swords in reverse, please, Spirit. We have the Page of Cups. And clarifier for the Five of Swords. We've got the Magician in reverse. Clarifier for the Wheel of Fortune. those aces are meant to come back out, they will. Clarifier for the Wheel of Fortune. Please, Spirit. Clarifier for the Wheel of Fortune, please, Spirit. No, 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 no. No, 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 too many. Page of Wands in reverse, okay. Oh, and bottom of the deck, we have Four of Swords in reverse. Not quite straight, but you can see them all. It's hard to get it straight with, like, the issue is that the camera's tilted a bit, which makes something has to be crooked, essentially. Like, this looks heinously crooked from my angle, but looks better for yours. Okay, so the Eight of Cups can refer to departing as upright. It can refer to departing a situation that is not good for you, sort of making better decisions to sort of move into a better future. In reverse, it suggests that that decision isn't being made, that there's some hesitation, feeling stuck in a situation, like a rut, essentially sort of staying in a rut. And the Two of Swords is very similar energy. It suggests, in reverse, it suggests upright, it's about choices that need to be made. Reverse, it's about the choice being quite difficult or feeling unable to make the choice, being paralyzed by indecision, having trouble choosing which direction to take. And it does call for listening to your internal compass, listening to your heart, your intuition, your inner guidance. Okay, so these are sort of summing up that there's, like, I'm sort of getting a sense of anguish, you know, and maybe some analysis paralysis, but I'm feeling it more in the emotional sense. So there's like the intellectual part here, but the emotional part here. So there's an emotional feeling of stuckness and then an inability to make a decision based on that emotional stuckness. And then, but a really strong desire to fix what is not working, wanting to end a separation, wanting to reach out and communicate, and to sort of come out of that Three of Swords heartbreak energy. And so the Page of Cups upright suggests flowing creativity, flowing emotions, but very sort of nascent flowing emotions, and kind of like beginner steps, you know, just getting one's sea legs, learning to walk with emotions. And so sort of a like wanting to come out of separation, but feeling very hesitant about how to do that or what to put forward is what I'm getting. And so whether that's you or your person, it's not quite clear to me. So if this is you, then it might be that you have some work that you need to do in terms of kind of adjusting to your own emotions, not adjusting, allowing your emotions, sort of getting in touch with your emotions, letting them flow, sort of maybe accessing your creativity. That might be one way to bring your emotions through. You know, one activity that people sometimes do is timed writing. If that's something you've heard of, you could look into it as well. But essentially it's just setting a period of time and not letting your pen leave the page. So you write and you write and you write and you just write whatever. You just have to keep the pen moving and keep going. And for the amount of time that you set. So maybe it's 10 minutes, maybe it's an hour. You set a timer, and you just keep the pen moving during that time with the plan of you're just going to toss those pages later if you want to. You're not trying to generate anything. You're not trying to come up with anything. You're just letting it flow through. And sometimes things come out that really surprise you. And I'm sure there are all manner of other artistic endeavors. You could pick up a copy of The Artist's Way, for example, if you want lots of ideas about getting in touch with your creativity, and in turn with whatever might be blocking that, or like ways to allow it to flow in ways that may benefit the situation that we're looking at. So I guess that's coming through as a bit of advice. So it might be that you're, I'm gonna take it as you, since the question was, have you missed your chance? So we were looking in this at you specifically. So I'm gonna take this as about you, but if it resonates the other way about your person, then take what resonates and know that their work is their work. But as far as you go, as far as you were concerned, the Five of Swords can refer to, it can refer to sort of like an ego battle between people, where people are invested in sort of winning at all costs, and which obviously in an emotional romantic connection between two people, any kind of emotional connection between two people, is counterproductive. So if both people are very much in their ego, then they're just going to be like, and unable to progress the connection beyond the point of feeling sort of warring, like at war with each other. But it can also refer to internal conflict. I'm just noticing these sort of ghostly figures in the background. Ooh. Who are those children? They look like they've been hanging out in canoes, but they have swords and shields and, like, I don't know. Looks like the ghost of a good time that is now just a ghostly image on the shore. Can you see that? They took a canoe ride together and they look like kids, and they're holding swords and a shield in one case, and it's sort of like the ghost of a good time. So maybe they got out of their canoe, like they were enjoying their time in the water. There's some water here, and and now they've taken up their swords and the canoe's parked and they're sort of looking away from each other. They still look like kids having a good time, really, but they're ghosts. So maybe there's like the ghost of a good time happening in this ego battle. It's funny, I was going to talk about this being an internal conflict, and I do also notice these snails. Like snails, it doesn't even matter, they don't need any gender identifiers because snails are hermaphroditic, and any two snails can bring about abundance and fruition. But maybe that's meant to show the degradation of the mushroom, which definitely looks like it has some soft spots. There's a tarot reader who sometimes talks about a white truck going by, and this white truck keeps driving up and down my road as I am doing this reading. And I don't have any meaning assigned to the white truck, but perhaps someone out there does. So if that is significant for you, the white truck left and then it returned again. And it distracted me both times. Okay, so Five of Swords could be an internal self-sabotage, sort of internal ego battle, like of your own, like of the different parts of you that are kind of conflicting over what path to take, and it can be self-sabotage. So it might be that you are holding yourself back. Also with the Magician in reverse, that's the energies of not necessarily harnessing your resources in productive ways, or it could be harnessing your resources in counterproductive ways. So it looks like you have power here, but there's some kind of self-sabotage element happening for you. That would be my interpretation. It might be that self-sabotage is fueling an ego battle external to yourself, or it might just be that this is an internal struggle. And it might be one that, has to do with past memories of, like, it's almost like Six of Cups, but like the death version, like the ghost version of Six of Cups over there, is sort of what I'm seeing. So if this is a connection where you feel kind of haunted by past good times, and it looks to me as if you have the ability to, as I keep doing in my readings lately, and with this very card, and not this deck, but the Magician card, you can turn this around, right? So if this is something that's going on internally, or even interpersonally, you have the ability to harness your resources and turn that around. And so it looks as if there's a big shift coming. And so if the situation is feeling sort of Eight of Cups-ish, or Eight of Cups in reverse, or Three of Swords-ish even, I'm referring to the upright, like if you're feeling a bit heartbroken about how things have gone, it looks to me as if it's in your power to shift it, and that there will be a big shift. And so the question is, are you going to turn that Magician card around and ensure that shift happens in a way that is your desired outcome, or are you going to let it happen? in a way that might be out of your control. Wasn't I just talking about surrender? In this case, I'm seeing not surrender, don't surrender to your self-sabotage, but rather harness your resources and figure out that piece so that you can get back to the interpersonal connection. Yeah, step out of your comfort zone, take calculated risks, good fortune, new direction, chance presents opportunities, on the cusp of a significant transformation. And then with the Page of Wands in reverse, so the Page of Wands is the energy of sort of flitting about. It's actually one of my favorite cards. Surprise, surprise. But in the reverse, it can, again, it's like similar energy to this. It's talking about having a bunch of ideas about how to maybe transform this connection, but not acting on them. So having lots of great ideas, but there's some kind of blockage there in terms of you have a sense of really wanting to bring this around to a good outcome, but there's blockages in terms of taking the action or manifesting that into reality. So again, turn to your inner resources, and maybe there's some inner work, some meditation, some journaling, art, production of art, or maybe just going out and taking yourself on an artist date and just kind of following your intuition and spending a minute by yourself to get in touch with your own creativity in order to let that flow. It might be that you need to put effort into it to bring the relationship back to life. It might be that you need to focus on what you want. Like what does that look like? If the situation were to totally transform, what would that look like to you? And if you have an immediate answer, maybe jot that down. I don't know why I'm coming back to writing again, but maybe just pull out a journal and a pen, jot down what that looks like to you, and keep going. Like give yourself 10 minutes, give yourself an hour, give yourself whatever block of time you can set aside for it, and just keep going and see what comes out. See if you can, add more detail, if you can sort of feel into whether the situation is going to bring you fulfillment and whether you want to go back to it. And if it is the case that you do, then what do you want that to look like? What would that look like for you? And whether you end up harnessing those resources to sort of manifest that in this situation or not, that can be a productive exercise, because it will give you a clear sense of what you're looking for in future connections as well, just to put that out there. But it definitely looks like it's the necessary piece here. So doing some of the inner work, reducing that self-sabotage element, and getting in touch with your own clear picture of what you want going forward. And then on the bottom of the deck, we've got Four of Swords in reverse. So Four of Swords is about taking a break, going into that pause. Four of Swords in reverse is about taking action, moving forward, sort of re-entering the world after a pause, coming out of Hermit energy, or reigniting passion even. And so it looks as if there's contemplation called for, but also action. And so, but you've got to do the work to sort of unblock and come up with some clarity regarding what you want to manifest here. And once you have that clear picture, you can move towards it. You can take that action. And I feel like this reading, I did want to do some oracle cards. I really have been feeling a call to pull out the medicine cards. My time might get cut into here. I might have to come back to this reading in a bit, but I kind of have a feeling that it'll be okay. These are the flimsiest cards, but let's just, oh my. So we're going to get a medicine card here by way of advice. So they have a number of blank cards in this deck, and my children and I actually turn them into mythical creatures in some cases, like dragon, unicorn, that kind of thing. Ooh, we got some flipping out. Okay, we have spider. That's beautiful. That pretty much is exactly the energies. Oh look, and dragon came out in reverse. We did not draw a dragon apparently, but nor do we have a guidebook right up on dragons, but maybe if that's something that speaks to you, you could look into dragon energy. There's a lot to look into. And if you are someone who resonates with that already, if you already have done any kind of mysticism, mystical work around dragon energy, then perhaps this is a call to, you know, maybe your dragon energy is coming out in reverse right now and it needs to be righted. And so that might be something productive for you to work with. If you are not familiar, you could look into that. There's strong, strong power there. And we made this card long before I had any spiritual knowledge of that. So, well, I mean, any, you know, book learning. I suppose I had the knowledge in me. But Spider is one of my favorite cards in this deck, and comes up quite a lot for me, and or did at a period in my life where it felt like I needed to make some shifts. And so Spider's about weaving. It's quite a long write-up, but I'm just gonna skip through and see. So Spider's about weaving, so it's about bringing the alphabet to humans. Spider weaves the webs of fate for those who get caught in her web and become her dinner. This is similar to humans who get caught in the web of illusion in the physical world and never see beyond the horizon into the other dimensions. The web of fate also represents the wheel of life, which does not include any alternatives or solutions. It is typically human to get caught in the polarity of good or bad fortune without realizing that we can change it at any time. That was that magician card that I was saying needed to be turned upside down. If we are not decisive enough about changing our lots in life, we may end up being consumed by our fears and limitations. Spider is the female energy of the creative force that weaves the beautiful designs of life. Her web has hundreds of intricate patterns which catch the morning dew. If spiders drop from her web into your cards today, she may be telling you to create, create, create. Look for new alternatives to your present impasse. She can also be warning that you're coming too close to an entangling situation. Spider could be asking you to use a journal to write out and review your progress. If you do this, you will not forget how you are creating a new or different phase in your life. Says Spider, sometimes Spider gets your attention so that you notice that something you have woven has borne fruit. Congratulations, Spider caught you just in time before you missed the opportunity on the edge of your web or reality. And so, to my mind, Spider is a message about reality crafting. So you are crafting your reality. When Spider comes through, and I'm getting shivers as I describe this, when Spider comes through, to me it is a call to action. It's a call to recognize that it is within your power to craft your reality in one direction or another direction. And, you know, an infinity of directions, really, but that it's, if you, have you missed your chance? No. If you want to manifest that situation into reality, there's work you need to do, and it's up to you to do that work, and you have the ability to craft that web in the direction that you want it to go. But first you need to get clear on what direction that is. I think we're going to leave it there. Yeah, let's leave it there. Okay, and I hope that helped. I am enjoying these little mini collective readings. If you're enjoying them as well, please like, subscribe, press all the buttons. I always hear the supercomputer from Sesame Street from circa 1983 in my brain when I actually have a little tale about that supercomputer that I might tell in these tarot readings sometime down the line. Might as well. I haven't really had an outlet for the spiritual revelations of my life, so here you go, folks. But yeah, I was with these last couple of readings trying to stay really focused on you, and yeah, so I hope that helped, and I hope it serves, and yeah, craft your reality. Bye.